Well, hey there. You're listening to the Gina Scalp Home podcast, a podcast for hustlers and dreamers to get kick in the pants business advice with a little bit of fun mixed in. And this is your host, Gina Scalp Home. Hello, friends. Today we are going to talk about something that I call the 90-90 rule. Now, I've been applying this strategy in my own business for years. I started my own business in 2010, and I've been applying it ever since. In about 4 years ago, in 2020, I pivoted my business and I coach other hairstylists and people in the beauty world how to apply this rule that I call the 90-90 rule in their business. This is what creates the maximum amount of income in your business, my friends. And I can promise you it's going to help you create income. Now, I also coach others how to show up online and how to promote themselves by way of social media, blogging, emails, your website, all that good stuff, which I actually do in my own business as well. While that's going on in your business, simultaneously, I would highly recommend applying the 90-90 rule to it. If you've been following me for a while, or maybe you're in one of my group programs, or maybe you've been listening to my podcast, you've heard me say it before. So it's a good reminder for those of you who have heard about it. And it's also good for people who haven't heard about it. They can learn this new strategy. This is the easiest way to create more income in your business. And people always come to me and they say, Gina, I need to create more income. Whether they're pivoting their business and they're bringing a new program in, a new strategy, they're trying something different, or they're just, their books are slow. They're like, I just need to attract more income. Can you help me? And I always say yes. So I start with the basics on how to coach someone, how to show up online regularly, how to create time in their schedule for this type of important task. Because if you're not marketing your business, no one else is doing it for you, my friends. And how to use things like CTA, a call to action, in every post to get people to do something in your post, like answer a question, save it, tag a friend, things like that. But in addition, which I think is just as important, if not more important, is how to apply the 90-90 rule into your business to create more income. Now, this rule, which I'm going to get into in just a moment, is very beneficial for your clients as well. So not only will you be creating more income, but it's also going to be beneficial for your clients who want to participate in the 90-90 rule. I'm air quoting for those of you watching the podcast on video. I just air quoted that. For those of you listening to it online, don't worry about it. Don't mind that. Don't mind me. I'm just air quoting over here, which I think is kind of silly, but it felt appropriate. Okay, so here's what it looks like. It's called the 90-90 rule. 90% of your clients should be buying or getting 90% of your products and services. I'm going to give an example of how it looked in my business in just a moment, but let me just kind of break it down first for you. It's 5 times easier. And if you don't believe me, the statistic, you can Google it online. It's 5 times easier to sell to somebody who's already buying from you, AKA someone in your chair. It's much easier to upsell another service, a product, get them to refer a friend, things like that, because they're already in your chair. They're already spending their time, their energy, and their resources on your amazing product and services. So why not capitalize on the person that's in our chair that already loves us? So that's why we want to apply the 90-90 rule to people that are already buying from us. Now, before I get into the 90-90 rule, marketing yourself online is great as well to attract new clients, but it's easier to sell to someone who is already buying from you. So I don't want you to put all your effort in showing up online and getting popular and going viral and getting all these likes and engagement. I want you to also focus as much time on applying this 90-90 rule in your business. So let's say you offered a keratin treatment, haircut, color, extension installations, men's cuts, and women's cuts. Okay, so it's like 6 services you offer. And let's say you sell 10 products. You sell shampoos and conditioners of 5 different kinds. Okay, so shampoo and conditioner set. 90% of your clients should be buying or getting 90% of those products and services. Now, your female clients that would be appropriate for a color and a keratin, or let's say a shine treatment, a shampoo and conditioner, we need to make sure we're upselling to those clients. Of course, you're not going to recommend a keratin treatment for someone who's got skinny, fine limp hair. Like they wouldn't need it. But the people that have breakage, unruliness, gray hair that's making their hair kind of funky, things like that. Men, I do keratin treatments on a lot of men now. So think about that. So how could you upsell or have the conversation, or at least just get organized with who's on your list for the week, who's on your schedule for the week or the next 2 weeks? That's fine too. Like, what are they actually currently getting and what can I upsell to them? So let's break this down even further because I know you're probably like me and you have monkey brain, you have ADD, you can't focus, you can't put systems in place. I get it. This is what I coach others inside my programs. This is what took me years to learn in my own business. That's why I like to share what I know and share it to other people who want to learn from me. I'm giving you this little tidbit here on this training. Okay, so let's say you look at your list, you pull out a piece of paper. On the left side, you're going to write down everybody who's on your schedule for the week, first and last name. Next to their name, you're going to write down what they're scheduled for. So here's an example: Jennifer Smith, color and cut; John Doe, men's haircut; Stephanie Miller, keratin treatment. Okay, so that's all on the left side of the paper. These are people that are on your schedule for like the next 2 weeks. Okay, next to their name, you're going to think of one service or one product. You're going to brainstorm. This is accountability. This is putting systems in place. You're going to say, I really think if the shampoo and conditioner that I sell, it would really benefit this client. You're going to put shampoo and conditioner, Pureology hydrating shampoo and conditioner, or whatever the product is that you think would work well for them. And you're going to the next person. You're going to say, okay, John Doe, he's getting a men's cut. Actually, I really think I could get him some of this pomade that would really help out. Let me put pomade next to his name. Or you know what? I know his wife has really frizzy, unruly hair. I've seen pictures of them. Hey, maybe I can mention to him, does she ever complain about her hair? How does she style her hair? Like, ask a little bit more. Like, maybe she's not your client, or maybe you've met her once or twice. Ask a little bit more about it. Okay. And let's say you're the last client. You're like, this client gets color, but she doesn't get a cut or a keratin or shampoo, and she's got frizzy hair. I think a keratin would really help with that breakage and that curly hair. It's getting a little unruly now that she's getting a little bit more gray hair. You're going to put keratin treatment next to their name. So now you've got the whole thing organized for the next 2 weeks. You've got the people written down, clients that are coming in, that are scheduled, what they're scheduled for, and then you brainstorm one product or one service that you think they'd be a good candidate for the upsell. Now, all of this is fine and good, but this is where the ball gets dropped. Oftentimes people are like, yeah, that sounds great. When I follow back up with them, I'm like, did you do this next step? You need to reach out to them and say, hey, Jessica, I can't wait to see you on Friday for your color and cut. I have a suggestion or an idea that will help with some of the gray, unruly hair that you've been telling me about. Remind me to talk to you about it in advance. So that could be sent as a text message or a private message or an email, or if you call your clients, call them, leave them voicemail. You could do that. That's one way to be very proactive and very like assertive in the approach. Or you could just write down next to their name like keratin treatment. And when they sit in your chair after you've consulted about what you're going to do for the day and you're doing your foils, you're applying the color, you say to them, have I ever talked to you about a keratin treatment? Or how's it going with your hair? It's a little frizzy and unruly. Like, what products are you using? Like, have that intertwined in the conversation, in the consultation. Be very clear in your mind what's the one thing you want to bring up to them when they're in your chair. Now, you could talk about housewives, their ex-husband, the kids, all the other drama, but just make sure you make mention of this upsell that you want to talk to them about. Now, if they're super excited or they're like, ooh, interesting, tell me more, of course, tell them all the things. If they're like, oh, okay, cool. Before they leave, say, hey, would you mind if I shared a link with you about some more information about that keratin treatment? And they'll probably say, no problem. So you can just text it to them. And it could be a link to your website with information. It could be a link to like your Instagram post where you shared it before and after. It could be just something that you shared on how to maybe style hair that has keratin treatment. Give them some sort of more information when they leave your chair. Even if they say they're interested and they don't book, there's no booking going on for this appointment, give them more info. It doesn't have to be right then and there. It could be a couple days later. You could follow up like a week later and say, hey, how's your hair? Would you mind if I sent you more information about the keratin? But you have to be organized. You have to be on top of your stuff. And you have to put systems in place where you make a little note that you remember to follow up. You can't be flaky and hippy dippy and all that good stuff if you're going to apply this rule to your business. So again, we're getting organized in advance, who's on our schedule. We're making a list of what they're booked for. We're going to make a note of what we want to talk to them about. We're going to create some sort of content. It could just be a post. It could be one post on your Instagram or on your Facebook about the benefits of this service. And anytime you're going to reference that, you send that link, you share that link to that post to that client who seems somewhat interested in keratin treatment. Ideally, there's like more information other than one, like on your website or client testimonials, things like that. But just start to get in the habit of the things that you want to upsell. Make sure you have plenty of content about that online. Now, moving over from the 90-90 rule and over to how you would apply this and work it into your marketing schedule online, I want you to think about the services that you really make the most amount of money on and that you really love doing. If you're showing up online, let's say 5 days a week, every other post, like 2 to 3 posts a week, should be about that amazing service. Now, let's just go back to keratin treatments again to use as an example. I want you sharing the benefits of them. I want you sharing benefits like it decreases the drying time by half, it manages frizz, it gives your hair, it's like a facelift for your hair, things like that. I want you sharing testimonials from happy clients that have actually gotten the keratin treatments from you. I want you showcasing, like talking about how to prep the hair before keratin treatment or what to do with it after the keratin treatment. Things like that, like frequently asked questions about this service that you want to highlight. So just narrow it down to 1 or 2 different services that you create the most income on that you really love and you really want to do more of. Okay, so this is my strategy on applying the 90-90 rule to your business. I know it's going to work if you just apply it. Oh, and I want to share one example of how it looks in my business. And then this is how you could cross it over into your posting schedule online. I hope this gives you some ideas and some inspiration. So I was actually just sharing this little bit of tidbit about my own business. I share behind the scenes in my business in my monthly membership programs. If you're interested in learning more, send me a DM on Instagram, and I'll be happy to set up a call to discuss this more or send you more information about my membership program that I have for people that are in the beauty world. So something I was coaching my people inside the community on just an hour ago is what worked in my business. Now, this is going back to 2017 and 2018. This is how I apply the 90-90 rule in my business. And this is the huge difference that I saw in my business. In 2017, I specialize in wedding hair and special events. And at that time, I had 8 freelancers on my team for hair and makeup. So I could call any one of them to either do the party for me, help me with it. I'm not a makeup artist, so I'd bring a makeup artist on. Or if it was a big wedding party, it'd be myself and another stylist. Or maybe I was already scheduled for a wedding party on one day, and I need someone else to work on the other wedding party. That type of thing. That's why I had a bunch of different people I could reach out to who I thought were amazing that I could actually give business to. So they were freelancers. So in 2017, our highest ticket that we had for my business was about $2,000. The following year, that was like the highest ticket, and we had about 35 to 40 wedding parties. The following year, we did almost half. We did about 20 wedding parties and special events. And the highest ticket we had on one bridal party was $4,000. I'm going to say that one more time with the people in the back. We worked half the amount of time and doubled our highest ticket. Now, why did we do this? I was applying the 90-90 rule to my business. Now, of course, I was going gangbusters online, talking about how to prep the hair for your wedding. I was talking about showing pictures of my clients. When I get the professional pictures back from my client's special event, I would share that online or sharing testimonials. I was talking about the accessories that I sold. I was talking about the clip-in extensions that I sold. I was talking about the cut and colors services that I offered, all that good stuff online 5 to 6 days a week. So I was doing all that. But when I would have a bride reach out to me, the initial consultation, I would get on the call with them, send over our price menu, get on the call and talk to them about like how business is, how we charge, what are cancellations, how the girl's hair should be prepped, how many people I could do in a day, what's the location. I was getting details about the wedding. And I also wanted them to hear in my voice how much I care and how much I like doing wedding parties and special events. That's why I always get on a call with them right away, right after the price menu has been sent. And I talked them through like how this all works. And I get a feeling, okay, fine, they sign the contract, cool. Then we start on the consultation for the bridal trial. And for example, oftentimes brides would show me a picture of their hair and their inspiration picture. So I was just trying to feel them out like, how could I provide more services for them? Like, yes, of course, I'll be there to do the hair for the wedding, but how else could I upsell, AKA apply the 90-90 rule to these brides who wanted to look beautiful for the big day and all the days and weeks and months leading up to it? So I would suggest clip-in extensions, which I sold to almost all my clients if I felt like they were a good fit for it. I would suggest myself and or my team doing hair and or makeup for the rehearsal, for the bachelorette party, for the bridal shower. I would talk about accessorizing them. I'm like, what kind of accessories do you have? I have my own custom accessory collection. I can do the shopping for you. I can accessorize your bridal party. I can accessorize your mom, you, whatever. So there's all these different ways I was upselling. So the ticket was originally, let's say, $500. It would go to $1,000 with all these additional add-ons. So this is what I was doing. I was focusing very clearly on services that I love to do, bridal parties and special event hair, and how I could upsell to that person who wanted to look their most amazing self for all the weeks and the months leading up to the special event. Eventually, my business started to expand or spread out. I would have my ears perked up. So if a client was talking to me about a special event they're going to, whether they weren't even in the wedding, they're going to the wedding, or they were going to a 40th surprise birthday party, or they were going to some other specially work event, I had my ears perked up. Oh, what are you wearing? How are you accessorizing? Are you doing your own hair? And I would just start the conversation and I would get like, how about me? How about I come to your house and or I'll come to the hotel where you're at and I'll do your hair and your friend's hair and I'll bring one of my makeup artists with that type of thing. I was always looking at how I could upsell to the people that are already trusting me, that are already in my chair. So I hope this training helped you out. I hope it inspired you to put systems in place and to apply the 90-90 rule to your business. I promise it works, and I promise you will be attracting more income if you start applying this 90-90 rule in your own business. And you can start that this week and see the results within the next couple weeks of how your income is going up. And then I want you to hit me up on Instagram and tell me your exciting news and how you're creating more income in your business. And I want you to also share this information with a friend that you think would benefit them. Thank you so much for tuning in to my podcast. I hope you have a wonderful evening, my friends. Bye.